Sheikh Bandar's laugh echoed across the pool deck. He pointed at Charlotte and shouted, "Hold breath like real pearl diver." The music died as every head turned. Charlotte froze, her tray shaking. 100 diamond-draped guests stared.
For charity, little waitress, prove your pearl diver blood can hold longer than my champion.
My great-grandfather held his breath for 4 minutes. He was a real pearl diver, not a party act.
A flicker of memory, her jiddu underwater, stone tied to his waist, eyes closed in perfect calm. She tossed her apron onto a nearby chair and rolled up her sleeves. Her fingers raked her hair into a tight, high ponytail, not a strand loose. She looked nothing like a waitress anymore.
She won't last 1 minute.
Charlotte, and I'll take that bet.
Without another word, she walked toward the glass tank, the water inside glimmering like liquid silk. She stepped barefoot into the cool water, the glass walls enclosing her like a silent challenge.
Jiddu always said, slow the heart first. The rest is patience.
The digital timer mounted on the wall flicked to 0 o'clock. A single beep, then it started counting. Guests nudged each other, smirking. A woman whispered to her companion, 1 minute, no more.
She'll surface before the first bubble. This is a joke.
Perhaps we should auction her snorkel when she loses. For charity, of course.
Breathe out the stale air. Then sink into the chest. Let the lungs rest.
10 seconds passed, then 20. She didn't move. The crowd's chatter thinned to murmurs. The smirks started to fade. Even the champion stopped laughing, his eyes narrowing at the tank. Inside the tank, Charlotte was perfectly still, her heartbeat barely a whisper against the silence of the water. 30 seconds ticked by, then 40. The digital display read 0:50. Charlotte hadn't moved a muscle.
My heartbeat is barely there. Jiddu said the ocean floor is the only real silence.
She hasn't come up yet. She might be dead.
If she lives through this, I'll buy her dinner and a snorkel as a souvenir.
The timer flicked to 1 o'clock. A collective inhale swept the poolside. 1 full minute. She stayed utterly motionless, eyes closed, as if sleeping under the water. Glasses were set down. Servers stopped mid-stride. The party forgot to breathe.
A fluke. She'll break any second. Nobody holds that long without training.
Number. This is my blood. My Jiddu dove with sharks and never flinched.
The timer kept climbing. 1:15, 1:20. The silence around the tank grew heavier with every second. The timer climbed past 1:30. The air around the pool thickened. No one dared speak.
Jiddu said the second minute is a lie. The body begs for air. It doesn't need yet.
There's a trick. She's using some yoga breathing, or she swallowed an air tube.
Surely she is just delaying, waiting to embarrass herself more spectacularly.
The guests leaned forward, elbows on knees. A woman clutched her husband's hand. The display hit 2 o'clock. 2 full minutes. Not a single person looked away. Sheikh Bandar's smile didn't just fade, it evaporated. His knuckles whitened around his glass.
This is not possible. I train every day. She's a waitress.
At 2:10, Charlotte opened her eyes under the water, calm, seeing nothing but hearing everything that mattered. The clock kept moving. 2:20, 2:30. The impossible was starting to seem inevitable. The timer rolled to 2:35. The pool deck had become a pressure chamber. Every breath held, except Charlotte's.
She's cheating. No one can do this. Someone pull her up.
My Jiddu did 4 minutes on a single gulp of air. I am only half his blood.
Tariq, calm yourself. This is a spectacle.
At 2:40, a collective gasp swept through the crowd. Charlotte showed no sign of distress.
She's making me look like a fool. I am the champion here, not her.
Sheikh Bandar loosened his headdress with a trembling hand. The joke had soured into a personal disaster. 2:50. No one spoke. Even the pool's water seemed to hold its breath.
Let them rage. The sea is quieter than their panic.
The digits climbed. 2:58, 2:59, the edge of Tariq's record. The moment stretched like a thread about to snap. The digital display flicked to 3 o'clock. Tariq's championship record vanished in a single second. A wave of gasps broke across the pool deck. Women covered their mouths. Men stepped back as if struck.
No, she's cheating. She's doping. She's goat oxygen. Break the glass.
Sheikh Bandar stared at the timer, his mouth half open, all traces of authority stripped from his face.
Jiddu, I can feel your pulse in my veins. I am not finished yet.
3:08. Charlotte hadn't moved. The champion's record was not just broken, it was being humiliated.
You are letting a waitress make me look incompetent. I'll sue everyone here.
Enough, Tariq. Sit down before you embarrass our family further.
3:10, 3:12, 3:15. The numbers climbed, and the silence became heavier than any applause. And still, the woman in the tank did not rise. She had not yet begun to need the air. The timer inched toward the impossible. 3:45, 3:50, then a blinding 4 o'clock. No one breathed but her.
Jiddu, you told me the 4th minute is where the soul speaks. I hear you now.
Then, at 4:08, she surged upward, shattering the surface like a diver breaking through a century of silence. Air flooded her lungs, a raw, hungry sound that cut through the frozen pool deck. The silence shattered. Cheers exploded like cannon fire. Waiters dropped trays. Strangers embraced. Sheikh Bandar stared, his jaw slack. The man who had mocked her now resembled a wax figure of himself. Tariq stood apart, motionless. His record, his pride, his future, all of it drowned in 4 minutes and 8 seconds.
That was for the divers who never had a glass tank to prove themselves.
Guests pressed forward with champagne and praise, but Charlotte only looked at the timer. 4:08, burning like a brand. Tariq retreated into the shadows, his humiliation a palpable weight. The real fight was only beginning. Guests swarmed Charlotte with praise, but her eyes tracked Tariq slinking toward a dark corner of the terrace. A man in a sleek Western suit waited there, sunglasses, an ostentatious watch, cold eyes. They argued in fierce whispers.
You had one job, Tariq. Make it look convincing. Now the whole plan is ruined.
Malik shoved an envelope at Tariq, who knocked it away. It skidded under a lounge chair, abandoned as they parted. Minutes later, the crowd thinned. Charlotte bent down and picked up the envelope, her fingers cold. The logo on the front was unmistakable. Aquadrones, a high-tech underwater robotics company. She pulled out the slip inside. In blunt type, final payment for Tariq al-Bandar. Throw the televised exhibition.
He wasn't just humiliated. He was paid to fail. This whole gala was a setup.
Under the slip, a line, Aquadrone's drone will win the televised Pearl Dive next month. Make sure Tariq loses.
They sold the heritage my Jiddu died for. I can't let them bury this.
She folded the envelope into her pocket, her heart racing with something sharper than victory. Near the champagne station, she spotted an Aquadrone's tripod banner, the same logo as the bribe note.
The televised pearl diving exhibition, Malik's drone. He paid Tariq to lose so his machine wins.
She scanned the thinning crowd and saw Malik laughing with investors, his watch flashing in the fairy lights.
He's here celebrating the fix he failed to hide. He doesn't know I have proof.
She recalled her great-grandfather emerging from the sea with nothing but a pouch of pearls. No bribe, no cameras, only honor.
That kind of honesty built this country. They're trying to sell it for a drone.
She made her decision. She would find more evidence, emails, messages, anything linking Malik to the bribe.
If I expose this, I lose my job. They'll crush me, but silence would be worse.
She pulled out her phone and started photographing the banner, the envelope, even Malik laughing in the distance. Charlotte knew she needed more than papers. She needed words. She found Tariq alone near the cabanas, wetsuit dripping.
You weren't just beaten tonight, Tariq. You were bought. I found the envelope.
You are out of your mind. That's not your business. Give it to me.
Aqua Drones paid you to throw the exhibition. Malik's note says it all.
You don't understand what they do to me. Hand it over, or I'll make sure you regret this. I had to do it. Malik has connections. It was just a job. Stop acting like it's a crime.
He just admitted it and threatened me. My phone caught every word.
Tariq shook his head and stormed off, his silhouette swallowed by the villa's shadows.
Jiddu, you faced the open sea. I can face one corrupt champion and his sponsor.
She slipped the phone back into her pocket, the recording saved. One step closer to the whole truth. Charlotte found Malik near the bar, twirling a glass of scotch. She approached with a practiced, weary smile.
Mr. Ray Hal, I am Charlotte. Quite a night. Your drone display looks impressive. Is it true they can outdive a human?
Outdive, outperform, outlast. Why do you think I sponsor these little heritage shows? The future is machine.
So next month, your drone will compete against real divers? That must take a lot of coordination.
Let's just say some arrangements are necessary in business. Nothing that concerns a waitress.
Arrangements. He just confirmed the fix on video. Keep steady.
Enjoy your little victory tonight. But remember, some stones are better left unturned.
He walked away, confident. Charlotte exhaled and stopped the recording. Another damning clip saved.
I have the money trail and 2 confessions. The Sheikh can't ignore this.
She paused at the carved wooden door of Sheikh Bandar's private quarters. Her hand rose and she knocked.
You again. I've had enough humiliation tonight without a waitress at my door.
Your Highness, it's not about the dive. It's about a crime against your family's name.
Sheikh Bandar stepped aside, his eyes narrowing. She entered and laid the creased envelope on his desk. He scanned the Aquadrone's logo and the payment slip. His fingers tightened until the paper creased.
What is this? Throw the exhibition. My cousin. Explain this now.
Play the recordings. Your Highness. Tariq first.
Tariq's voice crackled from the speaker. I had to do it. Malik has connections. The Sheikh's jaw tightened like a trap.
Malik, too. You have his words?
She played Malik's smooth, cold confirmation. Then silence. Sheikh Bandar stared at his own reflection in the dark window.
Summon Tariq, now, and send men to find Malik. These snakes will not slither out of my house.
Tariq was pushed through the door, his face ashen, his hands trembling.
Your Highness, I hope you are not believing a waitress over a businessman. Let's discuss this.
This note says, final payment for Tariq al-Bandar. And here is your voice on recording. Explain.
Forgive me, Bandar. Malik said if I didn't lose, he'd ruin me. I was in debt. He had everything on me.
Sheikh, be practical. Drop this mess, and Aquadrones will become your foundation's largest donor. Millions, discreetly.
I'd rather burn my own fortune than take a single coin from you. You are finished here, and you, Tariq, your name is stripped from the family. You are fired, disowned, erased. Guards, remove him.
Security dragged Tariq away, his sobs echoing down the marble corridor until a heavy door slammed shut. Malik spat at Charlotte's feet, then strode out. His watch glinted one last time before the night swallowed him.
Jiddu, your honest sea just pulled down a mountain of lies. We won.
Charlotte, you acted with more honor tonight than any man I know. I apologize for mocking you.
Your Highness, I only did what my Jiddu would have done. No apology needed.
I am creating a Pearl Heritage Foundation. I need someone like you as Goodwill Ambassador.
Ambassador? He can't be serious. I am just a waitress. Why me? What would I even do? I don't understand.
You'd speak for the divers, protect the legacy. Your bloodline is your qualification.
This isn't just a job. It's the purpose Jiddu always said I'd find. I need time. I've been invisible for years. I am not sure I can stand in the spotlight.
You were never invisible, Charlotte. You were the pearl we nearly missed. Take the time you need.
She stood motionless, the scent of chlorine still on her skin, feeling an entire history settle on her shoulders.
Your Highness, I accept. But this foundation must carry my great-grandfather's name. No compromise.
It will be the Jiddu Khalid Hassan Pearl Heritage Foundation. His legacy from this night forward.
They clasped hands. Her fingers, still faintly wrinkled from the water, met his gold-ringed grip as equals.
Now, the guests must know. Walk with me.
They emerged onto the pool deck. The remaining crowd hushed, champagne glasses left on tables.
Tonight, a true pearl diver rose among us. Charlotte Hassan is now our foundation's goodwill ambassador.
Applause erupted. But this time, it was not the roar of a spectacle. It was the steady hand of recognition.
I am no longer a waitress. I am my Jiddu's voice.
One by one, guests approached, not to toast a champion, but to meet the keeper of a centuries-old flame. Sheikh Bandar watched, his hand over his heart, a gesture that had begun as apology, now settling into pride. Reporters surged forward, their cameras flashing. One called out, "Charlotte, how did you hold your breath for 4 minutes?"
My great-grandfather was a pearl diver. He taught my grandfather, who taught me. Tonight, I followed his rhythm.
Another reporter asked about Tariq. She paused, her expression hardening just slightly.
Tonight wasn't about him. It was about proving what's in our blood, honor without bribery.
Sheikh Bandar stepped beside her, his voice firm and resonant, silencing the chatter.
The foundation will ensure young Bahrainis learn this art, not as a spectacle, but as a heritage.
A photographer asked for a portrait. Charlotte stood alone before the tank, the timer 4:08 still glowing.
Jiddu, they're looking at me like I am your reflection, like I carry the sea in my lungs.
She smiled, not for the cameras, but for a man dead 60 years, who had never seen his great-granddaughter become his legacy. The champion's name was not spoken again that night. Only hers echoed across the villa. Weeks later, Charlotte walked alone through the hushed halls of the Bahrain Pearl Museum, her heels echoing on marble. She stopped before a glass case. Inside, stone weights, tortoise-shell nose clips, and a faded cotton diving suit.
My Jiddu held a stone just like this. No glass tank, no timer, no applause, only the deep.
Her fingertips brushed the glass, leaving a faint print over the stone weight, as if touching the past. She moved past photographs of wrinkled divers with salt-crusted smiles, their eyes as calm as the sea at rest. Then she reached into her bag and withdrew a creased photograph. Her great-grandfather, young and unsmiling, a pearl in his hand.
I held my breath for you, Jiddu. I held it long enough for the world to remember.
She pressed the photo against the glass case, its paper edges aligning with the ancient stone inside.
No bribe can reach this far down. The sea keeps its own accounts.
She stepped back. The photo remained against the case, a silent offering. Two pearl divers, a century apart, together. The foundation's inaugural gala was not about champagne. It was about salt-crusted skin and deep breaths. Charlotte stepped to the microphone, her hands steady despite the sea of faces. In the front row, half a dozen elderly divers sat together, their eyes already wet.
I am here because of a man named Khalid Hassan, who dove without tanks or fame.
One of the old divers stood, placing a trembling hand over his heart.
He held his breath for life, not a timer. Tonight, we honor every man who tied a stone to his waist.
The divers wept openly. Applause rolled through the hall like a tide.
Jiddu, your name is spoken. Your sea has become our stage.
A photographer caught her smile, not the smile of a champion, but the smile of a woman who had finally come home. She looked at the divers, and for the first time, she felt she had truly surfaced. At dawn, Charlotte returned to the villa's pool alone. The glass tank stood empty, its timer dark. From her pocket, She drew a single pearl, smooth, warm, the color of a rising sun. The pale light caught its surface like a memory suspended in seawater. She looked down at her own reflection in the still water, the pearl, a tiny moon above it. Behind her eyes, the jeering crowd still echoed, the Sheikh's laughter, the champion's smirk. But those sounds had faded into the silence of dawn. Just as the party had faded into the past, she knelt by the pool's edge and opened a small wooden box she had carried since the museum. Inside lay the creased photograph of her great-grandfather. She placed the pearl beside it. She closed the lid. The click was soft as a heartbeat. The sun broke fully over the water, and Charlotte stood, cradling a century in her hands. Months later, in a sunlit foundation office, Charlotte and Sheikh Bandar studied a blueprint of a new dive training center.
This center will teach not just technique, but the history. Your Jiddu's name will be on the first plaque.
And we'll train girls too. No separation. The sea doesn't care who you are.
A soft knock interrupted them. A young girl of about 9 pushed open the door, clutching a piece of paper. The girl held up a crayon drawing of a woman underwater, surrounded by pearls, with the scrawled title, "My Hero Charlotte."
Jiddu, see this? A generation that knows your truth. This is the most beautiful pearl I've ever seen. Thank you.
Sheikh Bandar watched, a knowing smile on his face. The ambassador had become a symbol. The girl hugged Charlotte tightly, then scampered away, her footprints silent on the polished floor. Charlotte turned to the Sheikh. The blueprint lay between them, but the real foundation had already been laid. On a warm afternoon by the coast, the foundation's first youth training session was underway. Boys lined the shore, lungs full of ancient rhythm. Charlotte watched from a simple chair, under a date palm, her ponytail loose, her eyes soft. One boy stepped forward, his bare feet sinking into wet sand. He filled his chest with air, exactly the way her Jiddu had taught her grandfather. He submerged, disappearing into the turquoise calm. A trail of bubbles rose like a string of pearls.
Jiddu, he's using your rhythm. See how the sea holds him, as it once held you.
The boy surfaced, gasping, clutching a small cowrie shell. His friends cheered, and he held it up like a trophy. Charlotte clapped, not as a dignitary, but as a diver's granddaughter. The sound mingled with the waves. The sun began its slow descent, painting the sea in gold. The villa's white walls glowed in the distance, silent witnesses. The tradition was no longer a museum relic. It breathed, it laughed, and it belonged to a new generation. A small hand tapped her arm. The boy offered her the cowrie shell, his eyes bright. "For you, Ambassador." She took it with a trembling hand. As the sun melted into the horizon, Charlotte walked to the old wooden dhow moored at the end of the pier. She settled on its bow, the creased photograph in one hand, a single pearl in the other. The same pearl she had held at dawn, now glowing orange in the dying light. She looked at the sea that had taken her Jiddu and given him back every day. Her fingers opened, and the pearl dropped like a silver tear. It kissed the surface without a sound, then vanished into the deep.
Jiddu, rest easy. The deep is safe now.
She sat back, the empty box beside her, the photograph pressed to her heart. She had held more than breath that night. She had held a legacy, and now she had set it free, and in the silence, the sea remembered.